self-care is not selfish. It's actually the biggest part of showing love that you could offer to your family, your friends, and your community.
As women, we nurture and take care of the world. And so it's just so important to make your health, your self-care numero uno. So
get around people who are going where you want to go and who are where you want to be. And that's exactly what I did. I wanted to be in real estate, so I got around people who were doing things in real estate that I wanted to do.
So you might not be able to move things around or change what happened to you, but if you can change the way that you see it and how you're reacting to it, there's a way.
You just do what you have to do. There's no excuse. This morning, I knew that if I didn't get up at 4 in the morning and clear out my emails and do everything that I needed to do.
You don't want the government to dictate or a judge to dictate how your hard-earned sacrifice and wealth gets distributed to your family and your loved ones.
Our culture is embedded in American culture. There are people who come to America and engage in American culture, which is Black culture. So Juneteenth is really about Black culture, and it's about celebrating us, celebrating the different diasporas of Black people, even the dialects.
Hello, and hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? So today is Thursday, and today is a special, extra special day. I don't have my crown on today. Oh no. Tomorrow is my birthday, y'all. So if y'all know, today's my birthday. I'm celebrating it from today, getting the party started. So I'm excited that you all are here with me and joining for March the 26th so that we can talk about systems before scale, building infrastructure that lasts. And this is the last part in our 4-part series where we have been talking about how to make your business work for you, right? A lot of us go into business and we're in the space of, I want to have my own business so that I can have more freedom, so that I can control my time, so I can control the amount of money that I make. And then we're operating in our business, and the things that we don't have are time and money. That's weird, right? We're not following with what we said we wanted from life, and especially with being a business owner. And individuals like myself who have been in the game for a little while, and those who are just now getting started. I've been in the game now. My son is about to be 17. Oh my gosh. My birthday is tomorrow. His birthday is 2 weeks after mine. So he will be 17 in 2 weeks. And then he's going to college. I am a nervous wreck. And so is my husband, but he's trying to act like he's not. But we are absolutely, we're going to be losing our baby. Okay. It's not about that. But I've been in business as long as he's been born, right? So I would say a little bit over 18 years, we started our first business, which is Umoji Events, which is our event planning company. And so we were doing, actually, it was more than that. It's been 20 years since I've been doing Umoji Events. So drop in the chat if you are a business owner and I want to learn a little bit about you. What is your business? What have you been doing, and or what do you aspire to do if you don't have a business currently? Because what we're going to be talking about today is going to help you, if you don't have a business, to prepare yourself to structure your business in the right way. And if you do have a business, to restructure your business or re-envision your business so that you are able to have more autonomy, have more time for yourself, your family, your loved ones, have more time to go on vacation and not be tethered to your phone, have more time and have more money, right? Because time is money as well, right? So have more money so that you could do the things that you want to do. So we talked about at the very beginning what was yours, like your ecosystem, building out your ecosystem and what that looks like. Then we went into talking about landing pages versus websites and understanding a little bit about what a landing page and a website is and is not. And then last week we talked about your funnels, right? Being able to build out funnels in spaces so that it supports your business and it's not just something that is just going on by yourself. The whole point of you doing funnels, landing pages, promoting, marketing should be to create an ecosystem that centers around you, the owner, right? That's the whole purpose, right? As the owner, you want your business to be operating in a space that allows you to have some freedom. So, waiting and letting a couple of people get started. We have my first business New Young Creation. It started in 2009. Hey, how you doing? Innovative Resilience, Grand Rising, and we have. I am a lawyer. Okay, we have someone who's joined us as a lawyer. She does litigation law. Okay, I have someone who is joining us who has a bakery. Awesome. My nonprofit, Innovative Resilience East Brooklyn Village Inc. started in 2021. So you have a couple of businesses. Awesome. And that is all part of the plan, right? So you can become a, what do they call it? Not everyone has like unique names for how they say they're multi-dimensional business when they have a couple of different businesses. But like especially out the Black community, we were taught that you have to have multiple streams of income in order to make things work, right? You have to have money that's on auto invest that is making money for you while you sleep. And not for nothing, your regular business can be that, right? If you put the systems in place properly, it can be on automatic so that it makes money for you while you sleep. So I'm going to stop here for a moment, because if you know someone who you know is a business owner who you think would absolutely love or need this, I need you to share this link to them right now. I need you to forward it out. I need you to say, hey, jump on. I'm also going to do the same, right? I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to forward the link, forward the details to a couple of different people. Just because today was a very busy day for me, and I have been up and at it since 6 o'clock this morning, actually 5:50 to be exact. And so I definitely would love for you all to be able to join in having conversations about this. And you can join us either on YouTube, which is preferred. You can join us on our Twitter account, our TikTok account live, and continue to keep moving from there. All right, so let's bring up the slides and let's get this party started now. Get this party started. So becoming a key person of influence, from visibility to infrastructure. We're talking about building out your infrastructure so that it lasts a lifetime, beyond and beyond. All right. So I know a lot of businesses who typically, if you know businesses who are coaching, and that's a good place where most businesses are operating, right? In coaching, if you are a business owner, if you have a brick and mortar space, especially if you have a brick and mortar space, people don't realize that when you have brick and mortar, you have to work twice as hard. Just because you have a physical location does not mean that people know who you are. And I always say this, right? When you move to a new location, don't you have to transfer your mail? So like you have to tell people where you then want your mail to go. And that's exactly what your landing page and your website are. It is a building, like it is your physical space, right? And you have to tell people how to get there. So if you are not telling people your address, which is your URL profile, then people will not visit your page. And the more people that visit your page, the higher your SEO goes, and that's your search engine optimization. That is the higher people are able, the higher you are to fall on that Google page, so that people can find you and you don't get lumped in. So I did this week, right? And guess what I found? So I am AR Business Expansion. So I went looking up AR Business Expansion. And what did I find? Lo and behold, there's an AR Business Solutions. Someone who is doing the very same thing that I do and utilizing my name. I know why I have AR. AR is my name, ATHENIA Rodney, AR Business Expansion. I looked through their page to find out what does AR mean. I even sent them a message. What does AR mean for your business? They haven't responded yet. But I'm going to continue to do some digging in that space. But you should be always checking, Google searching yourself, checking to see where you come up. And if there are individuals like this individual who is trying to get my customer base, right? And surely they'll see once you go on there, my pictures are nowhere on there. So, look for me, look for the Black girl. Look for the fun, energetic, like all of that stuff. So, you want to have your personality so that people can look at another person's page and be like, this doesn't sound like ATHENIA. This doesn't sound like so-and-so. This doesn't sound like so-and-so. So you always want to be in a space where you are you're building who you are, right? So like my signature is I wear wood earrings all the time. So that is one of my biggest signatures that people are always commenting on. To be like, oh, you always got some nice earrings on. And that I always have something on red. So today I don't physically have on something red, but guess what? My hair is always red, y'all. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but my hair is red. So I always have on something red. And as you can see in my picture, my color, my shirt, using my nails, all of that stuff. But we're going low key this year. All right, we're going to get started. Now we got a couple of people in the space. Welcome. Drop your name, drop your business in the chat so we can give you a shout out, and we can go to the next slide, please. So today we are talking about influence without infrastructure leaves you in a fragile space, because a lot of people are doing the work to be seen, right? You're going to networking events, you're going out to functions, you may be doing things online, you may be sending out emails or text messages, you may be posting on social media, you may be doing all of those things to get people into your space. However, not enough people are building a system to support what they're building. So people will go to your page, and then what? Is there, and we talked about this, right? When they go to your page, is there a call to action? Are you asking them to do something when they get there? Leave your contact information so you can join our newsletter. Set up a time to meet with me so that we can discuss your website, or we can talk about an avatar for your business. Like, what are people going to your site to do? Again, would you just go to somebody's house and just go there and just sit? Some people do. I don't. I'm not that person. If I'm going to somebody's house, I need to have a reason. I'm going over to drop something off to you. I'm going over there to say hi, or I haven't seen you in a while, to spend some time with you. Like, what's the reason why someone is going there? And then what is going to make them stay? Are you just stopping by and say, all right, I dropped off the mail, or I dropped off some packages and I'm out? Or are you actually going with some substance? So not enough people are building a system when they build their page. They just build a website and they're like, oh, great, I have a website up, and I now on to my next task. And that is the hard truth, right? That when you don't have the infrastructure, your whole project becomes very fragile. And the goal is not just for you to be known. The goal is to become a key person of influence in a way that is sustainable. And I will say that this is what I've learned over my years, especially with Juneteenth, that being a key person of influence has helped me in a number of different ways, right? It gives you stature. It gives you validity. It allows people to learn a little bit more about you and to see you from multiple different spaces. It also allows your business to travel far beyond you. And so we're going to talk about what becoming a key person of influence really is. So, quick question. Do you feel like your visibility is stronger than your systems right now? So just type that a yes or no in the chat. Do you feel like your visibility is stronger than your systems right now? Do you feel your visibility, meaning how people see you? Like, are you a person that's constantly out? You're constantly out and about and doing things. Do you feel like your visibility is stronger than your systems that you have right now? So I see a couple of yeses, a couple of no's coming in the chat. Awesome. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So influence without infrastructure is fragile, right? We talked about that. You can be someone who's popular. You can be someone who may consider themselves to be visible. You can be someone who may get a booking here and there. You may even consider yourself to be known. And I thought in one part that, yeah, I would say, yeah, I was known. And how I would say this is because I would go places and people would be like, you Marsha. Or they'd be like, Miss Juneteenth. And I'd be like, who is that? And I turn around and people like, I'm Facebook friends with you. I'm Instagram friends with you. I'm like, oh, okay, hey, how you doing, girl? And they be know my whole story. They're like, yeah, how's your son? I know that he's graduating and so on and so forth. And I don't have a clue who they are. But that is a part of that being known, right? But if I don't have something to then take them from that spot into my own ecosystem where I'm able to capture information from them so that I can speak to them when I want them to get the information that I want them to know in the moment that I want them to know it. Because guess what? Social media is not going to do that, right? So what is a key person influence? I saw a couple of people that dropped some more stuff. My system is stronger than my visibility. Okay. Hey, Shaquanda. Okay. Felicia Richards says yes, that her system is stronger. Uplift to Thrive says it's balance. And Shaquanda says, I want my visibility to increase. Absolutely. So we're going to talk about exactly what that looks like today for sure. So a key person of influence. Let's redefine what it actually means to be a key person of influence, right? It's not followers. A key person of influence is not someone that has like a bunch of followers. Because if you have looked on, especially on Instagram, if you looked at anyone's followers who maybe have 20,000, 30,000 individuals, and then you look at each of their individual posts, you might see 3 likes, 4 engagements, or no engagements and 10 likes, or you might see like 30 likes, and it doesn't equate. When you have that many individuals who are quote unquote following you, you should have a lot more engagement. And what that tells me is that you are an individual that has followers, but you don't have a good command of who your followers are. So some of your posts are speaking to your followers, but not all of them. And so the metrics on social media doesn't allow for your post to be seen to everyone. So that's a part of it. It's not about likes. That doesn't make you a key person of influence. It's not about just being known. A true KPI or a key person of influence owns 4 things. They own their audience. That means they know who their audience is. They can identify characteristics that make up their audience, right? So, for example, a characteristic that makes up my audience for my my coaching business are they're individuals who don't respond until 1 o'clock at night. That's when I'll get the most responses from the individuals who are characteristics for me. And why is that important? Because if I'm sending a message at 8, 9, 10, 12 o'clock during the day, and I'm getting frustrated because they're not responding, but when I send them a message at 11:59 and they respond at 12:15, and then I respond back to them at 12:30, and then they respond at 12:45, guess what? I have found where my person is. So I know that that's my audience. So I know that when I'm posting on social media, when I'm doing, sending out email blasts, that's my sweet spot, because the people who are my audience are going to be around at that time. Okay. Owns data. And this is a problem with a lot of and I say our organizations, me included. I've been there, right? You're doing all of this work, especially when we're doing festivals, we're doing in-person events, we're doing online events. We are not measuring our data. We're not capturing that information. And especially if we're looking to get funding from individuals, if we're looking to get grants, if we are looking at getting sponsorships, people want to know, how many people are you affecting? If you're not talking about how many people you're affecting, guess what they say? Oh, that's nice. Oh, that looks pretty. Oh, that was a nice picture. And then they keep moving, because at the end of the day, people want to know what's their return on their investment. And if they're going to give you $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000, they want to know that it's going to be going to the audience that they are also looking to attract or to be in front of. Own your systems. This is a real big one. This is one that I've been talking about for the last 4 weeks. Owning your systems. We use social media and we say that that's our system. It is absolutely not. And I'll tell you, and I'm going to continue to harp on this, because Meta, me and Meta in this battle, right? We had our page. We had over 18,000 followers on our Instagram and Facebook pages. And Meta just one day said, cancel, and they closed it down. I've been fighting with them since October. to get my page back up, and we have not been successful. So we just started a new page, right? So you don't own that system. You don't have any control. They get to determine when the lights go on for you and when the lights go off. And that is not a good space. You don't have control in that space. And I was paying, and I paid them. I paid Meta often because I was constantly doing promotions. So it wasn't like it was kind of one of those, what is this kind of thing. But I quickly learned that was not my space. And what I was happy to know is that I also have 25,000 emails in my database and another 15,000 phone numbers. So guess what? Even though we lost that 16,000 individuals on social media, and that's where most people will go to start searching, we still have control of our stuff because we can still manage and reach out to individuals, right? And then the last one is owns conversion path. You have an idea, like you started. A lot of us do this working in our business and we don't do the working on our business. So we're like building the plane while we're flying it. And trust me, I'm there. I've been there, still there in a lot of different spaces, but it is not the most optimal. We have to plan out what our plan is. How do we want customers in each, especially when we do events, right? Because I know a couple of people who are on now are working the event space. We do large festivals or large events. We have a couple of different individuals who are our customer. Our vendors are our customer. Our performers are our customer. The attendees are our customer, and sponsors are our customers. So those are all individuals that you need to create data for. You need to create conversion paths for each of those different lanes, and they're all going to be a little different. So let's say you go live tonight and 50 people watch you. Now ask yourself, do you know who those 50 people are? Can you follow up with them afterwards? Do they know what to do next? And this is a big thing that we talk to a lot of our vendors about, because they come to our event. We have about 5,000 people at our Juneteenth festival, and they'll be like, oh, I got like 10 sales, or I got like 15 sales. And I'm like, okay, well, how many contacts did you get? And they're like, I didn't get any. So you have 5,000 people like surrounding your business, and you didn't get get any contact information to be able to follow up with them later. And I'm like, this right now in this space might not be the time for them. Their mind might be on something different. Their kids might be with them. They might be in the kids area, engaged there. But what you have as a product may be something that they're interested in, but they need to sit down and digest it a little bit more. So you need to send them some information that's going to be top of mind to keep them in that space. And that's where that owning your conversion path is. And that's where the same thing with being online, what this all looks like. Bringing it all together, right? So I see we have some messages. Wow, I need to hear that. So true. Yes, own your data. Absolutely. Talk about it, girl. I document everything. Absolutely. We have to document everything. And documenting everything is pictures and also getting feedback as well, because a lot of us don't do that. We don't get surveys. We don't send those out. And it's great to get surveys in person. Get it, those oral surveys. Hey, how was your experience? What would you change about the experience? And record that. A lot of times those are more powerful because there's a connection. You have a person, a face, a name to really go with what you're trying to say. Next slide, please. So the next is all about asset thinking. So this slide right here is a mindset shift. Because most people are building their business on borrowed land, like we talked about with the social media. We want to have spaces where you have more authority, right? So we're talking about making sure you have a website. That is a land that you own. You're in charge of that. And trust me, if you have somebody that builds out your website or your landing page and you don't have the control to be able to make changes on the back end yourself, then you still are operating in borrowed land. Like there should be no way or no space where, like, customers that we work with all the time, I'm always like, okay, here's your information. This is how you get in. This is how you make changes. These are videos on how to follow up so that if you need to change something and we're not available, you can do it on your own. You could always use ChatGPT. You can always search online. Like I'm showing them how to use their tools. Like they say, lead somebody to the water, but you can't make them You can't make them, drink the water. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm leading them to the water. I'm giving them all of the information. When they're ready to jump in, where they're comfortable, then they can jump in the water. But I want to make sure that you own your authority, and you have to own all of the information for your website, everything that is on there. Be able to make a change if you see something wrong right away. Like, all of that stuff should be very prominent for you. You should also have a CRM, and that's a customer relationship management tool, something where you're controlling the center. That is the epicenter of your business. That is everything that that should be going in. Every contact, every event, every meeting, every session that you have should go into your CRM, so that you're seeing, again, if your CRM is helping you with managing data, so that I sent out this post on social media, and I got 100 people that looked at it, and 20 people who actually signed up, and 5 people who showed up. Like, those are metrics that you need to be able to know, so that you know what your numbers need to be. So if only 5 people showed up with 100 people looking at it, then I need to put a promotion on it so that I can get 1,000 people seeing it, so that I can get 50 people showing up. You get what I mean? So that's where understanding your numbers and making sure that you understand your data comes into place. And then lastly, funnels. Funnels are extremely important for automating everything, right? A lot of us get the same questions all the time. Where is your event? What time is it? How do I sign up? How do I this? How do I that? All of that can be automated, especially in your social media metrics platforms, or in your email systems, or in your text messages, or on your website. You see what I'm talking about? All of these spaces where you have control. Next slide, please. So, real example, in Instagram, if Instagram shuts down tomorrow, and we've experienced Instagram and Facebook Meta shutting down, we've also experienced the TikTok wars, right? When the orange man went into office, and that was a whole battle, and it shut down for a couple of days, right? Can your business still operate? If those social media metrics and spaces shut down, can your business still operate? If not, you don't have a business yet. You just have a platform presence. You do not have authority. Okay. So what I would like for you to do is drop in the chat, what platform do you rely on the most right now? Are you LinkedIn? Are you Facebook, Instagram, a TikTok, Twitter, Twitch? Like, there's so many different platforms out there right now. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right? So which platform do you rely on right now? What platform works best for you? All right. So we're going to go into evergreen assets. What is an evergreen asset? This is where your mindset shifts. Evergreen assets are things you build one time, and you set it and forget it. One of those kind of things. They continue to work for you over time. So while you're sleeping, your business or whatever it is making money for you. So let's give you an example. For example, with the email list. If you host a workshop today and you collect emails, you can follow up with people the next day, right? Then you can invite those same people to the next month's event that you might have. Then you might have a product that come out with, maybe an ebook or something that's relative to your business. Then you can sell that to them later, right? That list becomes an asset, not just to you, but to others who you may partner with, who you might be able to invite to be a part of your ecosystem as well, so that you can offer value to the individuals. So let me give you an example of what that looks like. So I'm working with a real estate agent. That's my customer. I am also looking to partner with a mortgage broker. I'm also looking to partner with an insurance person to insure the buildings when people buy property. And I'm also looking to work with a, what is she? She's like a space manager, like a business manager. Like, she manages locations, right? So like rental properties and stuff like that. Property manager, that's what it's called. A property manager. So like all of those individuals are people in an ecosystem for me. So if I did a workshop, or I had, let's say my person who does the real estate, she does a workshop, and she brings in the property manager person and they start having conversations and they start promoting. So she's now talking about, hey, you can get a 1-family house and you can connect with my property manager person. And she is going to be able to help to rent out maybe your basement or something like that, so you can have money coming in. And then you have the insurance person that's talking about, yeah, and then we can insure them and insure the person that's in the rental property. And then you have the mortgage broker who's talking about, yeah, and I can help to get you more money because you're going to use it as a rental property. So now you've just utilized, you just brought in a whole ecosystem of individuals into your space that you can re-envision and have workshops around. Each one of those is a different workshop, right, that you have just created. And each of them are going to have their own followers that are going to be more than likely individuals who can funnel into your business. So think about what might be a funnel into your business. Who are individuals that you might be able to partner with or have conversations with, or who have similar businesses but different, right? You might have the same individuals that you're targeting, but it targeted from different areas. So how I do this with Juneteenth, right? Juneteenth is our mainstay of our events that we orchestrate, but we have other events that happen throughout the year. But those other events are based on our partnerships. So whether our board members or it might be other individuals who we work with, that we're not doing the heavy lifting of the work, but we're supporting their event. And that makes for a better business model, right? And also thinking about how you can make for a better business model and what that might look like for you as well. Give you an example about automated funnels. Let's say someone clicks your link tonight. You have your site, somebody clicks it. Instead of you manually responding and having to wait for you to send them, let's say, an invoice or a response, they automatically receive a welcome email. They receive a reminder to about whatever your product is, or to set something up, maybe to meet with you, and to go into the next steps. What is the next steps? That's an asset that's working for you, and you didn't have to lift a finger. Now let's talk about evergreen landing pages. Instead of saying DM me, like a lot of us says, especially on social media, right? You send people to a page that explains what your offer is about, who it's for, who the person is that you want to gravitate, and how to move forward to work with you. That page works 24/7. So instead of sending somebody to your DMs that saying to DM me, unless you have an automated system there where you're saying DM me, and then when they DM you, there's an automated system that spits out, hey, I would love to connect with you. Here's my my page. Can you go to it to sign up some time to meet with me? And when they get to the page, they see what your offer is. They see that they're one of the individuals that you're talking about in that space. And it affirms them that much better, so that they then sign up and they actually meet with you. And then lastly, SEO content. If someone searches you, how to grow my business, how to build a landing page, how to get more clients, right? And your content shows up, then great. If your content doesn't show up, then that means that your search engine optimization, your SEO, is not in a good place, and you don't have good assets on your page. And good assets on your website so that people can find you are definitely where blogs come in. And I'll probably do a session on blogs in the future, just so that we can hash out like a little bit more details. And we're actually going to be doing some working sessions. We actually have a networking session this evening, starting at 5:00. And this is a program where we're helping individuals to identify a task, something that they want to do, right? And to be able to focus on that for 6 weeks. As a part of a book that's called The 12-Week Year, that helps you to identify how to not mystify, but to codify and to co-work with others who might have tools that can help you to do your job better. Trust me, I did it my last session, and that's why we're like, oh, we got to get other people in this, because I found a couple of different tools that I'm now able to do a whole lot more automation, building out a website, like a whole bunch of things a lot faster. So it is absolutely a benefit. So which one of these do you already have? Do you have email lists? Do you have automated funnels? Do you have SEO content on your page, like blogs, to draw attention to your page when people Google search you? And do you have an evergreen landing page that will continue to bring people into your space, into your ecosystem? We can go to the next slide, please. So I saw, what platform do you use right now? I was Facebook. We are not leaning on, okay, it was Facebook, but I'm now leaning on the website. Great. I'm glad to hear that. Anytime I can hear somebody say that they were on Meta or any of these social media platforms and now they're leading in a different space, I am absolutely excited to hear that. Someone said, definitely need to create SEO content more on my page. Yes, that is the key. And I'm going to do a segment on that as well, because let me actually write that down. So SEO, and then we're going to do one on blogs, because a lot of people have been asking me about, oh, how do I get more engagements? How do I get more people to find my page in search engines? And we've done a great job. And I'm going to tell y'all the biggest secret to that is reviews. Reviews are the biggest way for your page to come up in the search engine. But you have to do it in a way that people are doing reviews and you're targeting what they're saying, so that they're using certain keywords in their reviews so that you pop up when people are searching for you. That is the key. That one's free, y'all. That one's free for y'all. But I do want y'all just review. Like anytime you work with someone, especially if it's like a friend, and don't just do a review to do a review. Like that doesn't work for anybody. That doesn't serve anyone. Where it's nice to be like, oh, with friends, can you just go and do a review? No, I want you to actually have experienced the service that you're reviewing so that it becomes a true review. Because anytime someone can start to feel like, oh, I'm not sure if this is a real review or not, then they're going to question all the rest of your reviews as well. Because I know when I first got started, I was doing that, and it was like 5 or 6 reviews. And it was like my cousins, my brothers, my mom, things like that. But when you got to the point where you have 400 reviews and they're all 5-star, I know 400 people, but I'm not telling all 400 people. 400 people have not experienced my business and just went on there to go write a review. Okay, so especially when you're starting out, if you have a small amount of reviews, it makes people question it a lot more. And it takes a long time for you to get to those 50, 100, 200 reviews on your page. You actually do have to work at that. So, executive growth model. This is the order most people skip. They go from visibility and then they're just like, okay, scale. They're like, all right, I did everything, but they miss everything in between. And then they burn out. They are tired. They're overwhelmed because calls are coming in, emails, all of that. Like, trust me, I've been there. I've done that. It was times where I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days because I was trying to respond to emails, respond to text messages, getting up and going to do press releases, going here and speaking with individuals, managing volunteers, managing everything, all of it. We went from 0 to 100 literally in a week. And you don't want to be in a space and not be prepared for what that looks like. So throughout your process, you want to be building out different things, right? The real order is visibility, then conversion. So they're going to your page, they're understanding your business, they're converting. Then they're going into a space of automation where any questions that they might have, they'll be able to get it answered without you having to do it, because it's already in the system. It's already a part of the makeup. And we have AI now, which you can download a whole list of background information, and someone can just put a question in there and it will automatically speak to them like they're human. Hey, Athenia, thank you so much for reaching out to us. We are glad that you said that you stopped by. To answer your question, this is where, the event is going to be held on June 20th, and it's going to be at this location. Do you need any other further information? Like, your AIs can now do all of that work for you instead of you having to be present to do that. And that's something that I'm sure a lot of you all, when you're doing events, people want to know, how do I get there? Is there trains or anything like that nearby, or buses, or, any of those kind of questions can all be automated. Your infrastructure. And infrastructure goes into like SOPs, your standard operation procedures. if you were not there for the day, or somebody in your team was not there, can somebody jump into that space and be able to do the job without having without any issue? Can they just jump in, look at your paper and say, okay, I'm supposed to open this door, I'm supposed to turn on the lights, take out the garbage, I'm supposed to go check the bathroom, make sure it's clean, I'm supposed to turn on all of the computers, turn on the AC? Like, they should be able to do exactly what you would do when you go into the space. And then we go into the space of scaling, where we are taking on more than one infrastructure, taking on different entities, hiring people, all of those things. Because once you get past 5 individuals, then you need to have a manager to be able to manage those 5 individuals, because then it becomes very difficult for one person to manage 10 people or more, over 5 people. So we can go to the next slide, which is all about burnout, which is where a lot of us live. The scale activity, not structure. A lot of us live in this space of burnout. Burnout doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from doing too much without a structure. That's where it comes from. Doing too much without a structure. I got to do more posts. I got to have more lives. I got to have more events. I got to have more networking. You're running around and you're doing all of this. And what's happening? You're burning yourself out because there's no system. Once you do all of the posts, once you do all the lives, once you do all these events, once you do all the networking, what happens next? What does the person do? Where do they go? Did you capture any information? You might have spoke to 100 people in a week. But if there was no way for them to come into your ecosystem, those people are lost. And you will probably not see them again until they come into your space in the next time that you do a post, a live, an event, or a networking event. So you need to be doing something that is going to bring them into a structure, a system that you can then re-engage them and have conversations. We are, like I said, doing this event later on at 5, and then I'm doing another event at 6:30 later on tonight. Both of those events, I was able to send out messaging to my email base, and literally as I'm walking and going to networking events this week, people are like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to come to your event tonight. Is it going to be recorded? And I'm like, how you know about that event? Because they're on my email list. So that's what you want to have. You want to have people talking to you, and then other people are asking them, what event? I didn't know about the event. Athenia, how come you ain't tell me about it? And I'm like, well, are you on my email list? And they're like, no, how do I get on it? That is how you create a system of structure. And that's how you continue to be a key person of influence, visibility. I didn't do anything but send out an email with everybody on it. I didn't mention it anywhere. I didn't say it. But because somebody else saw it and it was on the top of mind and resonated with them, they decided to talk about it. And now more people are interested in attending. So have you ever felt like your business slows down if you slow down? And those, especially our moms, right, who have children, if you get sick, you're like, the whole world stops. And guess what? A lot of times the same thing goes for businesses, right? If you get sick or something happens to you, then your whole life shuts down. Like you didn't make money for the day. Or if you didn't speak to somebody, you didn't do a certain job, then the business doesn't come in. And no business should ever rely on one person. If a business only relies on one person, the business will absolutely not survive. So next slide, please. So what is the cost of random growth? Random growth costs more than you think. If you go to put up a social media promotion and you just say all of New York City to promote a particular event, they're probably going to charge you $1 per visibility, because you have a lot of individuals that it would attract. So it will cost you a lot of money. Now, if you narrow that down and you say, instead, I want New York City, I want people who are African Americans, I want females, I want parents, so people who females who have children, and parents who have children who are in the ages of 20 or younger. Now I've just narrowed it down significantly. And what happens is the people who see my posts now, it will resonate with them because they might see kids on the page. They might see something when we're talking about managing your time, getting more time back, get some peace. Like those are the words that people who are in those spaces that have children under 18 who are female, who, you know, African American, those are some of the pressures. So when they see my post, it's going to resonate with them and they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's me. What is this person talking about? What are they going to help me do? Then that's when they go to your page and you will then on your page explain what you can help them do so that they can get more time back. So I hope that helps and you understand a little bit about like this whole throwing random growth at things. So people lose leads when they're just throwing stuff, right? Like I said, you're going to spend a lot of money and you're going to be promoted to all of New York City, and all of New York City is not your market. Like I used to work with a water company and it was like, oh, everybody's my market because everybody drinks water. And I'm like, yeah, but not everybody pays for water. Because especially in New York City, you know, I'm not above going to the fire hydrant and getting me some water from the fire hydrant. Like if you're a real New Yorker, that's what we do. So I'm not going to spend money to get water when I can get water for free or go into a store and get a cup of water. So like, you know what, it's a certain type of individual who is going to purchase water. And there's certain type of individual who's not going to purchase water. So then you put them situationally, right? Put them in situations. Now, if I was at the club, would I purchase water? Probably so, because I'm not going into a bathroom where people probably was throwing up and doing all kind of stuff to go and drink water from a faucet. Like that's just not gonna happen. But if I was at my house, then I'd probably drink the water because I'm more familiar with the water there. So you know, it really you then create types of situations and you know how to target to people in those situations. So that is a big part of growing and not being random at it. So that's where a lost lead can kind of fall in. Lost time because you're still trying to figure it out. Now, I will say when you first start, you do have to do a couple of those, like throw in what they call spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, because you're not really sure. You have a hunch or you have an idea. You might have used ChatGPT and it's like, yeah, this would be a great person to be able to, you know, to use for your business. And then you try it and then you find out, oh, actually, they're not. Like, that's not really my customer. And so you will find it and you fine tune it. And once you have it fine tuned, that's what you start to target. So that's why I always start off when I do marketing with individuals. You have to try a bunch of different things first. And then once you've identified what the sweet spot is, you want to invest more money into that space. So if you did marketing, handing out flyers on the street and you found that worked, then let's invest more money into that space and do more flyers and have more people out in the street handing out flyers, because that is what's going to bring you more into your space. Money is all of it. Like that's the basis for everything that we do. That is the cost, right? Time is money. Money is money. And leads are money. So that is also a big place. And then authority, you lose authority, because if you are targeting to individuals who are not, you've ever gotten an email and the email, you signed up for something and they were talking about one thing and then you got an email from them and you was like, what is this? This has nothing to do with me. And you just go unsubscribe. That's part of your lost authority, because now they're like, they feel that you don't understand them, that you don't know who they are. And you don't know who they are if you're just sending them something random that doesn't fit in the ecosystem that you've created for them to be in. Okay. So that's like if I sent, we were just talking about that same one where we were talking about females with children, right? If I sent out something and it was about men, unless I was able to connect it to the woman, right? Like, hey, let's celebrate your spouse or your partner and do X, Y, and Z, then it might be relative to them. But if I didn't phrase it in that way and I just started sending out information that was just about men, my females would be like, why are you telling me about men and getting the haircuts? That don't have nothing to do with me. I don't care about that. So again, making sure that you're framing it in the context of the people who are your target, so that you are still keeping your target engaged and you're not losing authority. All right, next slide, please. So infrastructure model. This is what structure actually looks like. It's not just an idea, but a system. You talk about authority with your website. You talk about a CRM, customer relation management tool. You talk about automation, having, and your CRM should have an automation component, especially now. If you are in a CRM that doesn't have an automation component, please come talk to me so that I can help you get one. Landing pages, making sure that a landing page, and we've talked about this in previous sessions, a landing page is for a targeted audience that is only speaking to one individual, and a website is for context. They will go to your website to understand the context of what you do, but the landing page, they're going to make a decision, yes or no. Is this for me or is this not for me? The website is their context clues. They want to find out, who is this person? What have they done outside of this particular thing that they are promoting? What else, what can I believe them? Do they have any social proof? Like, those are what your website should be able to do. Your landing page is just directed to a specific focus. So like if you're doing an event, you would create a landing page. A lot of people don't even realize, but Eventbrite is a bunch of landing pages. When you go to Eventbrite, what you're creating is a landing page that is just focused on your event and all of the things focused on that particular event. So when people go there, they're learning about the event, they're seeing pictures about the event, they're seeing who's come in the past, they've seen who else is interested in attending your event, how many other people are interested or not interested in attending the event, how many views you have, how many followers you have. All of that stuff is happening on Eventbrite. And so that is what your landing page is essentially for you. So this is how businesses stop chasing and they start converting into business. And that is how we optimize, and we get to have some rest, and we get to relax when we actually go on vacation. All right, next slide, please. So in reflection, I want to pause here. What is missing in your infrastructure? What have you heard me say or share that is missing? Is it clarity? Do you know who your target market is? Do you know the specific individuals? So not just saying I am looking for sponsors, but are you saying I am looking for Fortune 500 companies who have a DEI department still in light of the Orange Man's non-DEI infrastructure, who still wants to engage with community outside? That's specific. That is what you need to, that's what clarity looks like. It's not just saying I'm looking for sponsors, because that's not going to help anyone to help you. Okay. Systems. Is it systems that you're missing? Do you have a system when people sign up to your page and they say that they want to be a volunteer? Are they going through a process in their volunteer structure? Are they going through an ecosystem that they're getting information? What is it in? What's in it for me? Then they sign in a contract. Then they're maybe having an info session. There are other opportunities from the volunteer leading up to the main event. There are workshops or trainings leading up for them to make them better. Like, what do you have as a part of that ecosystem for that person? Do you have a system in place for that particular avatar that you have going through your program? Follow-up. What's the follow-up? And I know this is a place for me also that I constantly am working towards and striving. Once I close the deal, I do all of this hard work to close the deal. It's like you do all of this to get married, right? You're doing all these works, you go all these places, you're doing all these tastings, and you're looking for a wedding, you're looking for a dress, the cake, all that other stuff, and then you get married, and then the whole marriage falls apart. Because you were doing so much work at the beginning, but there was no follow-up. You didn't go to counseling. You didn't hang around other married couples so that you knew how to engage. What does that look like? What does the follow-up look like for your business? Lead capture. What are you doing to capture people to your page? Do you have an offer, a free offer that they can have, an evergreen offer, something that they can get on their website that does not cost you much other than the hour or 2 hours that it costs for you to research and create it? After you've researched and created that one time, that same document now should be able to continue to roll over so that it is making you money by being a lead capture, by bringing someone to your page because you're saying, oh, you know what? If you go to my website, I have something on here that teaches you how to work on finding your business avatar. I'm sure after we just had this conversation, you will go to my page and you'll be like, oh, I want it find out what that is. I want to sign up so I can get it because we talk so much about it today, right? So that's how you go about doing that. And then automation. After you've gone through all of that, what is the system of automation? How the ecosystem of it? It might have gone from one place. They might have started as a vendor. And then from being a vendor, now they want to be a volunteer. And from being a volunteer, now they want to join your board. And from joining the board, now they want to be an executive board. Like, so what is your ecosystem? What are the different phases that you have available for people to be a part of? So drop one word in the chat. What's missing right now for you? So we have, how do you set up your email list when you have over 5,000 on it and no true clear fields? Ooh, that's a really good one. And the biggest thing that I can tell you about that is you need to list them. So list them separately, or we call them tags. So in our CRM platform, we would work with you to build out to how to tag them. So we would figure out what go through what your business is. And then we would break down different tags for individuals. And you would go through and you would put what kind of individual they are. So for example, what's a good example? I know we are short on time. So I'll just use like my balloon business, right? So if I put balloon business and I said, oh, they were, we tagged them for weddings because we did a wedding with them. We might tag them because they have kids, right? So that might be birthday parties that we can then send promotion materials to them to. If they work at a school, we might tag them for school so that we can then send school promotions to them because we are MWBE and we are DOE certified, so then we can then send messages to them, right? So these are all different tags that each of those individuals, and as we learn more about them, we can continue to tag them and put more tags on, so that when you're sending out messages, the messages are going only to the people who it's relevant for and not to everyone. So while some people might fall in multiple tag areas, some might only fall in one or two, and they don't want to get a bombard of emails that are not relevant to them. So I hope that helps you with being able to sort through those 5,000 individuals. So next slide, as I close this out, this is exactly what we build in AR Business, which is my business, my coaching and marketing business. We help you install systems, structure, automation, and conversation paths that will build your brand, and so that you don't have burnout. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have brand without a back end, that is what I consider to be burnout. And like I said, I've been there. That's the reason why I can speak so heavily to what you see. I can have a bunch of examples. If I had more time, I would definitely share. But if you're ready to stop guessing and actually build something that supports your growth, go ahead and scan the QR code, set up some time with me. I would love to meet with you. My biggest thing that I love to do is to help you build out one avatar. So we'll talk about a SWOT analysis. I love to do that as a compliment, which is your strengths, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats of your business. And then from there, we'll build out 4 avatars. I'll explain 4 avatars, and we'll build out one of those 4 avatars. And we could do that in about 30 minutes. So if you are interested, you can definitely sign up to meet with me and book some time on my calendar. I would love to be able to connect with you. So that is all for the process for today. But we do have, like I said, a couple of things that are going on today. Later on today, we have a session at 5 p.m. if you are interested. So before this one, we have a 5 o'clock session. That's if you're interested in being have an accountability partner or accountability group that'll get you through. It's a book called The 12-Week Year. I definitely want you to look at that book. It's a great read. It talks about how to focus your efforts on specific things in order to get them done. It's a big belief of like whatever you focus on expands, right? And that's exactly what this is. So what we'll be focusing on, you'll be able to talk about what's your one thing that if you do it really well, everything else will fall in place, and we will help you with resources to get to that. And then later on afterwards at 6:30, I'm going to be doing the session. So if you missed some of our previous session, this will be like a compilation of all of what we've talked about over the 4 weeks. So if you missed any of it, please sign up and register here. when we'll be talking about websites versus landing pages. We'll be talking about automation. We'll be talking about funnels. We'll be talking about all of the things in the last 4 weeks that we have, but in a in-person space, because it'll be in Zoom. And you'll be able to ask more targeted questions so that I can help you as an individual to grow your business. So I hope that you got a lot from today. It was a lot to offer. I was trying to get through all of it before 1 o'clock, and we just made it. So thank you for staying with us. I appreciate you. Please send me some messages for my birthday tomorrow. I love you. I appreciate you. And please don't forget to go to our JuneteenthNY.com website so that you can join us for Juneteenth on June 20th this year and our Black King, so you can get all dressed up and look snazzy on June the 18th. Tickets are going on sale tomorrow as the Founders Special for $125. On regular, they are starting at $150 and will be going up to $175. So we encourage you to get your tickets tomorrow as soon as they go live. I love you again. Have a great one. Bye, everyone.